Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. Let me pop up here, make sure I clicked the right buttons. Yeah, it says we're actually live. I did it right. So right off the bat, let me get right to it, just so nobody says I'm doing some crazy clickbait. I said that there's a big announcement and then live chat. So what we're doing tonight, I'm going to tell you about the big announcement in case you missed it. You guys that are here on the live probably already know, because if you're in the live, you probably see most of the videos. But just in case you didn't, and as a reminder for everybody else, in case you forgot, today is Thursday. No, today is not Thursday. Today is, man, I never know what day it is. Today is Tuesday, June the 11th. On Friday, June the 14th, which is this Friday, we are doing a giveaway for a year's worth of ammo, partnering with Pyramid over at pyramidair.com. We are giving away a year's worth of ammo up to 1,000 beans. You heard it right. Essentially, you could say we're giving away $1,000. Anyways, all that being said, how do you enter? All you have to do is go to WHOTEEWHO.com, scroll down on the homepage, and be a member of the newsletter. It's free to join. WHOTEEWHO's newsletter. I'm going to put it in the chat. I can't hardly type right because my hand's messed up, but I'm going to put it in here. WHOTEEWHO.com. It's in the chat. All you got to do is go to this website. Oh, man, I already missed it. Y'all are typing so fast. Come on. There it is. All you got to do is go there. Go to my newsletter at the bottom of the page. All it is name and email address. I promise we're not scamming you. We're not using it for anything goofy like you might expect for some things. I never give anybody my email address, but name, email, that puts you into my newsletter database, and that's how we're finding the name. It's an easy way for us to do a giveaway. And yes, Nefarious, good question. If you're already a member of the WHOTEEWHO.com newsletter, you're already entered. You don't have to go do it again. You're already in the Cool Kids Club. But again, we're partnering with Pyramid at pyramidair.com. You guys know that's where I get all my air-powered bullet slingers. They also now sell the center fires and the rimfire bullets. So as a way to celebrate that and announce it to everybody, we're giving away a year's worth of bullets to somebody. All right, come on now. If you're asking what happened to my hand, come on, man. That means you're slacking. All that being said, everybody go to WHOTEEWHO.com, sign up for the newsletter, and that's how you're entered to win the giveaway this week. And we're drawing it on Friday. But if you're asking what's wrong with my hand, you're just making me sad, because that means you're not watching the videos. If you watch the videos, then you would already know what happened to my hand. But let me pull it up. Let me pull it up here. Where's it at? Hold on. Okay, bear with me just a second. So, if you're not subscribed, you got to be subscribed. Boom. I got another channel. It's called WHOTEEWHO's Garage. On that channel, in a video, is where I messed up my hand. I don't know if it's completely broken, but it hurts so bad I can't even hold a cup of coffee. And I'm not going to a doctor just to tell me to wear a brace and pay a doctor $500 to tell me to wear a brace. So I'm going to wear a brace until the pain goes away. And if the pain doesn't go away, well, then I'll go see a doctor and have to have some kind of surgery. But yeah, I hurt my hand real bad in a video over on WHOTEEWHO's Garage. But good thing is, check this out. I still got that trigger finger action, y'all. So I film videos today. My plan still is, always will be, new videos every single day. and I never plan on stopping. My goal is to have a new video every day on this channel, live on WHOTEEWHO, and a new video on WHOTEEWHO's Garage every day. I'll probably miss more of the WHOTEEWHO's Garage because that's not the focus. This is the focus. But yeah, if you go over to WHOTEEWHO's Garage and subscribe, that will be awesome and help me out a bunch. Now, we talked about the big announcement. Let's get into the live chat. I appreciate everybody jumping in. Also, I just found out at the end of this month, there's another award show. So we went to SHOT Show in January to the Gundies, and we won Best Outdoorsman of the Year 2 years in a row. Here's another also big announcement. That was so cool, and I appreciate everybody who voted for me the past 2 years for the Gundies. Well, I just found out via message 10 minutes ago on my way to get here for this live. We got voted in another awards show, completely separate from the Gundies, which I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet. Probably not. Actually, I'm probably not supposed to talk about it at all, but everyone in this live gets to see it. We got voted another award show, Best Outdoorsman of the Year. So that's really cool. It means a lot to me. So we couldn't do what we do without y'all, and I truly appreciate y'all big time. I'm just a regular old dude. Y'all that watch the show know that. Y'all that know me in person know that. Absolutely, for sure. I'm just a regular old piddly old dude trying to work hard and do my best. Jason, I appreciate the super chat big time. What's up from Blue Ridge, Georgia? I appreciate you watching, Jason. Means a lot. What else you guys talking about? Ryan says, Weatherby 307 Alpine CT review. So, I may do that. I may be able to do that. I have a 307 in 257 Weatherby. If you haven't seen those videos, definitely go check it out. The Alpine CT is a little bit different, but it's still basically the same gun as a 307. But I do have 307 videos up already if you haven't seen those. Paul, rifle manufacturers with a lifetime warranty. I don't know if I can name one off the top of my head. I don't know. I really don't get into warranties. And that's just kind of my thing. It's like I got into a big argument with a guy the other day talking about warranties on tires. And he said he's had free tires for almost his entire adult life because he buys whatever tires and they're guaranteed to like 50 or 60,000 and they never make it, and he keeps his receipts and he keeps going back and turning them in at like 40,000 miles. Hey, these are warranted to 50,000. Y'all owe me new tires. Me? That goes against my grain. Like if I owned the tire shop place, you know, that's just the way I think about it. I wouldn't want people doing that to me and ripping me off or ripping off the tire manufacturer. I just don't think that's right. Now, if I bought like a $10,000 rifle and it came with a warranty and the gun messed up, absolutely, I'm taking it back and claiming that warranty. But to me, I worked 13 years for an insurance company, so I know all about warranties and insurance and all that jazz. Me, if I buy something and it don't work, I just sell it. That's just me. I don't like the whole warranty thing. It's just too much of a pain. But I'm also kind of weird. So, Steve says, "What's the range on that 50 cal air gun?" You know, to tell you the truth, I haven't shot it past 100 yards. For hunting purposes, you know, I'd say 40 yards and in. If I really practiced with the arrows, sending the air bolts, maybe slightly past that. But I haven't practiced out that far. But realistically speaking, for hunting, like 40 yards and in. Now, for target practice, as long as you got the drop, you could probably send it 200 or 300 yards. But I've only taken mine out to 100 yards. And we've done that in some videos. Somebody's buying Vista or bidding on it. I hadn't heard about that. I don't know. Interesting. AT2 says, "Have you got a 6mm arc?" So I have one video on 6mm arc taking my buddies out to 1,000 yards. Top secret for y'all that are on the live. I appreciate y'all watching. I just picked another one up that's mine in 6mm arc, but it's one of those top secret things that I'm not allowed to talk about for like another week or two or something. But yes, I did go pick up a 6mm arc the other day. It's top secret, but y'all will be seeing it in videos really soon. So thanks for watching, AT2. Philip says, Alabama here. What's up? I like Alabama. 9 says, appreciate your hard work. I appreciate you watching. On the outside, it really looks fun and fluffy. Oh, this guy's a YouTuber. But in reality, and y'all that know me close know it's for real, I rarely sleep and rarely do anything except film videos and then stay up late night editing. I'll film videos all day today. Then I went and coached baseball. I just took my baseball jersey off. And now I'm going to be up late all night. I'll be up all night because I got to be somewhere at 7 in the morning to film some more videos. So I'm just going to stay up all night editing. And then when it's time to go film some more, I'll get out there and I'll sleep this weekend. Tyler, I appreciate the super chat. That means a lot. I appreciate you hanging out and watching the show. Todd Moon says, Savage 110 Carbon Light 6.5 Creedmoor review. I have shot those, but I don't have one. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have a video on that one. I was somewhere where they had one, and I took it for a spin. Tony says, what calibers does Pyramid make? So Pyramid doesn't make anything. Don't quote me on that, but they're a distributor for essentially everybody. So really every caliber of air guns, they have every caliber because they're a distributor for almost, or I shouldn't say almost all, but many manufacturers, probably most of them. Jason says, congrats on the awards. I got to take this thing off because I can't even use the mouse on my computer. That hurts. I'll just be real careful with it. It don't really hurt too bad unless I'm trying to use my thumb, and then it just hurts like crazy. Jason says, congrats on the award. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wayne says, just sign up for the newsletter. Hey, you're in. If you got in here late, if you sign up for the newsletter on the homepage of WHOTEEWHO.com, you're entered to win a grand. And last time I checked, hey, there's a pretty good chance you get it. But if you already are a part of the WHOTEEWHO newsletter, you already entered. Doing a giveaway with Pyramid at pyramidair.com. So y'all definitely get signed up. It's free. It doesn't cost nothing. Curtis, I always appreciate Curtis watching. I appreciate the super chat. Appreciate you big time, Curtis. Got a Glock 22 today. Have any information? So, Glock 22. I'm not an expert on Glocks, so I'm going to sit here and give it a Google in 2 seconds. In my head, that's the 22 LR, but I could be wrong. Nope, it's not. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Glock 22 is a 40 Smith & Wesson. Nope, I've never had that one. What's the Glock 22 LR then? The 44? I can't remember. Anyways, I got nothing on that. I do have some Glocks. I got the 21, which is a 45. And I got the 31, which is 357 SIG. I carry both those from time to time. I don't know anything about that one. What else you guys talking about? I'm way behind. Yeah. I know how it works. But at the end of the day, you're still ripping somebody off. Back to the tire conversation. At the end of the day, you're still ripping somebody off. Same conversation. What if you owned the tire manufacturer place? On top of that, I just don't have the time to be fooling with all that. Ray Jones says, who love your content. Would love to see more CVA 4570. You know what? I have my FFL on the lookout for one. I already told them 2 weeks ago, order me a CVA 4570. Almost all the distributors are out of those right now. So as soon as my FFL can get one, I've got one on the way. I had a 4570 lever action, but I sold it to buy some other stuff. And I have them specifically looking for a CVA 4570 for me. mainly because I want to do a bunch of comparisons between that and the 444. So as soon as my FFL can get me one of those, literally what you're asking, I'm going to have one. What else you guys talking about? James says, need to get a Ruger Gen 11 Predator. Oh, you mean Gen 2, not Gen 11. I was like, what are you talking about? Man, I was about to run my mouth and talk about a bunch of stuff, but I'm gonna keep hush on that. What about some 338 Win Mag groups? So, I just did a bunch of that not too long ago. When I get to slinging a bunch of 338 Win Mag, hey, that costs a whole lot of moolah. But I've spent a fortune on 338 Win Mag ammo. I've got, I don't know, 6-7 different loadings and a couple boxes of them all. I need to get it out again. I have 2 338 Win Mags, but I'll get it out again. Tyler, I appreciate the super chat. Got any plans for an in-depth look at 7PRC ballistics? So, I've kind of already done that. I've talked a lot about bow light drop, so on and so forth, and comparing it to 6.5 PRC, 300 PRC, so on and so forth. I've got a bunch of group test videos with 7 PRC. I have a Ruger American 7 PRC. I also have the Mossberg Patriot and 7 PRC. There's a lot of drama right now talking about the velocities. There's a lot of drama right now about that. But some of my friends have already done videos on those. Ron Spomer did a video where he even interviewed Hornady about the 7 PRC and the drama that's out there right now about it. So that's a great video. If you want to know about that story, go watch Ron Spomer's recent video on 7 PRC. A couple of them, my friends, Backfire did a video on it. John McAdams at the Big Game Hunting blog did a video on it. Yeah, there's 3 of my friends that just talked about that recently. But I'll get the 7 PRC out again here soon. It's literally my goal to have videos on everything. So, for example, if you type in 7 PRC, there will be, you'll see, I'm looking at something here on the software. You'll see videos of me. Just because I'm curious, I'm going to pull up YouTube and I'm going to type in 7mm PRC. And let's see how long it takes for it to be a video of mine. 1, 2. I got the 3rd video. So that's good. But that's kind of how I do things is if you type in a caliber or cartridge versus deer, that you find me at the top. So we've spent literally a fortune on buying a bunch of bing bangs and bow lots and cameras. It's ridiculous to do what we do. But hey, could be a lot worse. Like Rustic said, I remember when you were working in the insurance company. I worked for that insurance company for 13 years off and on. It was my goal to be like a corporate company man, big wig, and I some would say I made it big time in that company, and I was in charge of a lot of business for that company, and I was miserable the whole time. Corporate America is trash. They promote people who lie and brown nose and wash the feet of the bosses, and it's all crooked. When I quit that company, wear the nice clothes, go sit and have a nice office, that whole deal. When I quit that job, over half my time was spent on training for, all this rainbow flag stuff, pictures in the office of dudes mooching on dudes, all that stuff. And we had to do training for all that stuff on how to act around those type of people, and all that stuff. I'm not kidding. I was spending more time on taking that training than I was getting my job done. And it was a joke, absolute joke. And they were promoting women to jobs and promoting people that were unqualified to jobs just so they could say, they had 30% minorities in the top, and so they could say they had 40% women in the top. And I ain't got nothing against minorities or women. If you're qualified, you're qualified, you know. But I've reported to a woman who was clueless. I did her job for her, and she reported to a woman who was clueless and did a bunch of her job for her. And that's when I quit. They were in trouble for like a year. My friends who still work there told me it was absolutely a joke, because I did the work of all of them. Anyways, we're not here to talk about my old job. I'm just on a rant because I was miserable for a long time. Chris Curry, I appreciate the super chat. What are you talking about? Says, wanted to say thanks because of your videos. I'm going hunting for the first time this year with a Stevens 334 and 6.5 Creedmoor. Hey, Stevens 334 is awesome. It is, last time I checked, the cheapest bolt action in a deer caliber that you can get. And it shoots good. The one I got is a 6.5 Creedmoor, and that thing shoots. So yeah, it's hard to beat a Stevens 334 for the money. I appreciate you watching. Hey, Chris, when you go deer hunting, message me, Instagram, Facebook, in a comment, whatever. I read every comment on all the YouTube videos. When you go deer hunting, comment and let me know how it goes. Send me a picture if you get a deer. That's the thing. People say all the time in messages on Instagram, Facebook, say, I hate to bug you. You're not bugging me. I answer all those messages every day. The Facebook, the Patreon, the Instagram. How else can you message me? The comments. Every day. I'm up to date on everything every day. So if you got a question or you want to tell me something, message me. Instagram, Facebook. My phone just went off. That's a text. That's Half Mile Sniper texting me right now. Got a buck on the trail cameras. That's sweet. Trail camera pictures. Hey, send me all the trail camera pictures you get. I eat it up. I love it. Hunting is my language. Anyways, I'm pretty far behind in the chat now, aren't I? 10 minutes. Let me catch up. Russick says, you're a busy man. Hey, that's the name of the game. You got to outwork everybody else. Josh says, what's your go-to lever gun? Honestly, I'm not an expert on lever guns, but my favorite one is probably the Henry X model. I had a Marlin 4570. I didn't really like it. I took a deer with it and it did fine, but I didn't really like it. I have the Henry X model in 360 buckhammer, and that thing's sweet. That's sweet. That's like the black tactical one. Wood grain is cool, but I like the Henry X mainly because, and my ear's bleeding for some reason, because it has a threaded barrel. Slanging blue lots is hard work. It is hard work. Slanging them is the easy part. It's the filming and the editing that's all the hard part. Yep, Half Mile says, got the first buck on camera. I got your text. Cool. That's cool to watch them grow out. And my ear's bleeding good. Look at that. I shouldn't have picked at it. Yahara says you need some sleep. That's why you thought it was Thursday. Yeah, that's true. I got to catch up in the chat. I'm too far behind. I hate missing people's chat, but I hate to be talking about stuff that y'all were talking about 10 minutes ago. Man, y'all are way up in the chat. David Nichols says, yeah, he does message when you message on Facebook. Where did that go? The system I got, it pops some messages up, but sometimes they go by too fast. Kenny, what do you got in that picture, man? That's some kind of big fish. Is that the ocean? That almost looks like a sturgeon or something. That's a cool picture, but hey, I appreciate the super chat. I'm trying to catch up to in the chat here. Half Mile Sniper says, a little something to help heal your paw. If anybody has any advice on like healing a torn ligament or something, let me know. But all that I could read was either it's going to heal itself or you got to have surgery. So I hate going to a doctor and letting them rip me off for something I already knew about. I Googled it, man. Don't you know? Google's the best doctor out there. David Nichols. David, I always appreciate you. I see you in the chat. He says, yes, you do answer me when I message you on Facebook. I'm telling you. I take a lot of pride in answering messages. Sometimes, somehow, they sneak through and I miss them, and then I answer you back whenever I see it. But I'm pretty crazy about checking that all the time. I have the notifications on Facebook and Instagram. So if you message me, my phone goes boop 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 boop. You got a message. I take a lot of pride in answering everyone's message and talking to everybody because it's a big pet peeve of mine. If I text you or message you and you don't answer me, like, why are we even friends? Why are we even talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't care enough about me to message me back. Why do I even know you? Why did I even waste my time sending you a message? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like that. If you email me, text me, call me, you call me on the phone, I'm gonna pick it up. Unless I'm like in the middle of a funeral or something. But even then, I call you back 5 minutes later. Gerald said, sign up for the newsletter. Cool. I hope you win. Good luck. What else you guys talking about? But yeah, David Nichols, I always appreciate you in the chat and watching the videos. Dragging deer out the woods is hard work. Yeah, it absolutely is. That's why you shoot them by the road. I didn't say from the road or from the truck. I said by the road, near the road. Get out of that truck, shut it off, and don't be touching the truck when you shoot that deer. I'm pretty sure that's illegal everywhere, unless you're handicapped or something. Michael Ruiz says, is the CVA Cascade Long Range Hunter too heavy for hunting? Absolutely not. My personal opinion, there's nothing too heavy for hunting, okay? I've taken a 30-some pound rifle hunting before. I'm also kind of a big dude, and weight doesn't bother me as much. To me, there's no such thing as too heavy, but the CVA Cascade absolutely is not too heavy for hunting. It's literally a purpose-built hunting rifle. There's a big craze right now for lightweight rifles. A lot of people out there looking for lightweight rifles. To me, I like a heavier rifle because I feel like I can shoot a heavier rifle better. I'm more accurate. I'm more steady. I like a heavy barrel on everything. And it doesn't heat up as much. It's more forgiving on the heat. Randy, any news about the stolen guns that were recovered by the police? No. But they're, I give you the update that I know. A lot of it's not really my business, but I tell you what I feel comfortable talking about. Over a year and a half ago now, we got robbed at my buddy's place. Some criminals robbed a bunch of stuff. The police caught them within 24 hours. The cops took all the guns and wouldn't give them back. It's been 18 months now, and the cops say they need all the guns for evidence, and we can't have them back until the last guy is sentenced. Well, the last guy is supposed to be sentenced this month, supposedly. So, supposedly, we can get them back after this month. Yeah. Michael says, how's your thumb? It hurts like the dickens. Hurts real bad. Something serious wrong with it. Ryan says, the Arc is a Ruger. I would bet money. Nope, it's not a Ruger. But I'm not allowed to talk about it. Any way you can find out when the new Bergara B14 Sierra Wilderness will arrive in the States, especially left-hand model? I haven't seen one yet, and I don't have any information on it. My shop, Tolliver's in Manchester, Tennessee, I was there today. They have 2 of the Stoke models. It's the lightweight, smaller version. In 1 in 308 and 1 in 243. So if you're looking for the Bergara Stoke, Tolliver's in Manchester has them, and they're probably the only people in the world that have them right now. Spoonbill, yeah, it's a spoonbill. We used to snag them. That could have been a spoonbill in that picture. I didn't see that. It could have been. I don't know. Oh, this is an interesting question. Hunter Martin said, first of all, I appreciate you watching. I see you in the comments and in the chat all the time. That's a monster deer in your picture, by the way. Holy bananas. I need to go hunting with you. What's your favorite deer animal you've taken? That's really hard to answer. The first big whitetail I ever got was a 13 pointer on public land in Tennessee with a 12 gauge and a slug, smooth bore. That was before I filmed videos. That one is real special. And then my first mule deer that I ever got, I was with my buddy Clayton, and we were deer hunting on horseback in Montana. My first mule deer I ever got. And that one is probably just as special, if not more special. Hunting with my buddy and on horseback and in Montana, my very first mule deer. The mule deer's got to win. Just such an awesome time. That was when I was filming videos. If you haven't seen my first mule deer hunt, definitely go check it out. Beautiful scenery and an awesome time. And I got that mule deer with my 338 Lapua, of all things. Yeah. Scott says, grew up not far from you on Dale Hollow Lake. Son played basketball 1 year at Motlow. So I used to live in Cookville, which is even closer to Dale Hollow. I was sitting at church on Sunday, and a buddy of mine fishes a bunch, and his wife caught a monster smallmouth. Dale Hollow Lake, if you're not familiar with that lake, the world record smallmouth bass was caught in that lake years ago, and there's still big ones in there. Curtis says, hit your other thumb with a hammer, and that'll feel better. Yeah, that is true. What else you guys talking about? Reload says, pray for your paw to heal. I appreciate it. Lots of people saying they're sign up for the newsletter. Yeah, I appreciate it. Good luck to you on winning. What kicks harder, the 50 cal or the elephant gun? Elephant gun by far. Technically, the elephant gun is a 50 cal because it's a 500 Jeffrey. But the elephant gun is the only thing I have that I won't let people take for a spin just because it's so bad. I don't even like it. I really should get rid of it, but I probably never will. Henry, I should have the answer to this. Mine is literally on the other side of this wall. Mine is Frankfurt Arsenal. So all my reloading equipment is Frankfurt Arsenal. I got my M-Press right here. I don't claim to be an expert by any stretch of the imagination when it comes to reloading, but I have my little, I don't even know the official name of it, but it's Frankfurt Arsenal. It's got the trimming and all that on it. But yeah, Frankfurt Arsenal, check it out. That's the only one I've ever used. Buddy says, do you have a video demonstrating the process of putting together a video, setting it up, and edit? No, I do not. But I can give you some tips. I use Sony Vegas Pro 16, and it's super easy. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I do is literally just taking a file and clicking it and dragging it into the software and then just doing that. Now, when I do the stuff at like 100 yards or I have a picture-in-picture, well, here's a track right here, and you literally just drag the file and put that track above on the other track, and then you got a picture-in-picture, and there's a timeline. If I can do it, anybody can edit videos. There's also a free editing software on your phone that I use a lot that is called YouCut, YOUCUT. If you want to get started making videos, get that free app and film videos with your cell phone. Half Mile found a stolen one today, working on getting it back to the owner. Man, I wish somebody would get ours back. It's been a big pain. When are you visiting East Commerce Baptist Church again? Danny says. Is that the one in Lewisburg? That's the only one that's springing my mind. Where my mother-in-law goes. I think that's what it is, but I can't remember the name, honestly. I don't know. I don't know when I'll be back there. When are we doing the sportsman's night? That's a better question. I'll be there. Robert Kaufman is a member of the WHOTEEWHO crew. Hey, Robert, I appreciate you watching. What else you guys talking about? Eric says, get that hand better. They're hard to get back 100%. Man, it really stinks. I wish I hadn't heard it, but oh well. Lewis says, took your advice on Crimson Trace Slugger Scope. Thanks, great advice. Yeah. If you're not familiar with that, I got videos. I have the Crimson Trace slug gun optic on my 12 gauge Weatherby. I've taken a bunch of deer with that 12 gauge on public land. And it has a drop reticle and all that. A lot of times, if you're shotgun hunting, you won't even need the drop reticle. But you never know. If you go somewhere, better to have it than not have it. What else you guys talking about? Ballistic Fix. If you didn't catch it already from the chat, if you go to WHOTEEWHO.com and you're signed up for the newsletter, it's absolutely free. On Friday, we're drawing one name off of that database, partnering with Pyramid at PyramidAir.com. And they're giving away ammo for a year. And all you got to do is be signed up for the free newsletter on WHOTEEWHO.com. There's Half Mile talking about it. WHOTEEWHO.com. WHOTEEWHO.com is how you sign up. Just how it is in my name up here on the screen. WHOTEEWHO.com. What else you guys talking about? Abraham says, love the content. I appreciate that, Abraham, big time. AJ says, hey, bud, love the videos. My wife and kids never miss one. Ice it 10 minutes every couple hours. Put it in a thumb brace and keep it to a minimum use 2 weeks. Yeah, I think I'm somewhere in week 1 of wearing this. I just took off this thumb brace so I could use the mouse. But I've been trying. Any more plans for the Africa trip? Yes. Super excited. Today, I picked up one of the Bing Bang Bulot slingers that we're taking to Africa. I just picked it up today. So I'm waiting for the scope to come in. There's 2 particular scopes I'm using. I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm partnering with Burris Optics on the Africa hunt. It costs a lot of money to get to Africa. So I've partnered with a couple companies to help us make all that happen. If you pick up what I'm laying down. And Burris is the company that's partnering with us. Use the word sponsoring us to get to Africa and film videos for you guys to watch. And I'm excited about getting them filmed. And believe this. I'm bringing a professional cameraman with all the expensive camera equipment and all the doodads to film the Africa hunts. So we're going to do our best not to miss a single moment of the Africa hunt with a professional camera crew. I do almost all my hunting, self-filming, and it's really hard to do. The buck I got with a 30-06 at the end of last deer season, I could have got him right when he popped up at the first 3 seconds. I could have smoked him with the 30-06, but because I was filming with 3 different cameras, one on the deer, one on me, another one on me from this angle, I got to hit record. I got to hit record. And then I got to grab the main camera and aim it towards the deer and do all that while the deer is looking at me. You know how they do all this, stomping the ground. Big old buck. And I'm up in a tree, moving in slow motion, getting this camera on this deer for 5 minutes. It felt like 5 seconds, but self-filming deer hunts is very hard. If you're hunting like a corn farm and you're getting them at 200 yards, up in a big old fancy $5,000 blind where you can be quiet and they can't smell you. That's easy. But I'm talking about I'm in the woods and I got that bucket like 25 yards and that dude's looking at me. Okay, he can see me. It's hard to do that stuff. I've missed several big bucks. Biggest whitetail I ever seen, I missed because we were waiting for the camera light. Super big money cameras. You can film in almost darkness. And at the time, well, I still don't have any big money cameras. What am I talking about? But the biggest whitetail I ever seen with my own eyeballs, I could have gotten plenty of light to see with your eyes, plenty of light to see in the scope. It's like 150 yards. I waited 5 more minutes for there to be enough light for the cameras to see the deer. Deer ran off. So sometimes cap cut, y'all talking about cap cut, bending ballistics and cheap hunter. To me, cap cut is not very user friendly. I have it, but it's not user friendly to me. It's too hard to find the templates. Like, I have ideas I want to use cap cut for, but I can't find a template that works right. I don't know. I'm not too good at all this tech stuff, contrary to popular belief. What else you guys talking about? Ride-on scopes. I got some ride-ons. We were talking about 338 Win Mag. There's a ride-on my 338 Win Mag. So I've got some ride-ons. Ride-ons are worth it if you get them on a half-off sale or something. I don't really like talking bad about stuff, but they do half-off sales from time to time. Actually, I haven't seen one in like 6 months, but when you get them in half off, ride-ons are pretty good for the money. I've been preaching it forever. Well, at least the past 6 months since I finally gave in and tried some Arkin. I had an Arkin out today. Well, for y'all watching the chat live, what I had out today, I got a, which has been requested a lot, Savage 110 High Country. Thing's pretty sweet. And I put an Arkin on that thing. It's the one that's like $300. $300 Arkin. There's like a lot of other $1,000 scopes. What are you hunting in Africa? Speedy says. Impala, warthog, Blessbach, and blue wildebeest is what's on the deal right now. But it's kind of one of those things. Whatever you shoot, you pay for. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to shoot a zebra. My wife don't want me to shoot a zebra because she thinks they're nice and cuddly like a horse. I love horses. I don't have a horse, but I love horses. I love being around horses, riding horses. But I shoot a zebra now. How cool is that? You got a zebra on your wall, dude? Come on. Luke, is the newsletter in the contact section? No. WHOTEEWHO.com, just like it is right here. WHOTEEWHO.com. And it's at the bottom of the homepage. Bending says, are you going with Pete in Africa? Nope. I'm talking about Peter Milan. I'm not going with him. Nope. Scott, that's one of the ones that I'm taking to Africa. Burris Eliminator. Nick, I got no clue what part of Africa is somewhere in South Africa. I already forget. I forget where it is. All I know is I got to buy a plane ticket and then somebody's going to pick us up at the airport. What else you guys talking about? Some deers don't want to be famous, and that's the truth. I don't think any of them want to be famous. Mike says, got this right on for $50. There you go. You can get them on some deals. Extreme says, likes Arkin scopes. I don't know why you wouldn't like Arkin scopes. If you put your eyeballs on one, they're pretty sweet. People have been telling me for years to get Arkin scopes, and I never did. And I finally had someone give me an Arkin scope. Oh my goodness, why can't I think of this dude's name? Anyways, a viewer of the show mailed me an Arkin. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I see why everyone likes Arkins. Scott says, big Savage fan. I got a couple Arkin scopes, really hard to beat. Patriot Paul says, Arkins are nice scopes for the money. For sure, yeah. Half Mile says, zebras are mean. That's why I told my wife. I said, a zebra will kill you, okay? They're not nice and cuddly, okay? Zebras are mean. Gator 13, I appreciate you watching. I always see you in all the chats every night. Says, zebras are evil. They are evil. That's why I told my wife. Them suckers are mean, okay? We need to take one. Cheap Hunter says, air quotes, I kind of want to shoot a zebra. I do kind of want to shoot a zebra. Extreme says, a zebra is a horse with stripes. Man, y'all about talking about some zebras now. What else you guys talking about? Baba likes this Vortex Strike Eagle 3-15 first focal plane. I don't think I've tried one of those. I haven't tried much of Vortex, period. I have a buddy who has some big money Vortex that I've used, and they're real nice. But they're big money. The ones he had, they're not black. They're like a dark purplish color. I think that might be one of the ones you're talking about. Patriot Paul says, no kudu. No, I'm not shooting a kudu. You know why? Because the kudus are the expensive ones. There's a lot of stuff in Africa. You can go to Africa and get 5 animals cheaper than you can get a whitetail in Texas. So pretty near everywhere in Texas. I love Texas. I love hunting in Texas. I love catching whitetail in Texas. Hunting in Texas is now for rich people. You can't go hunt in Texas. There's several places I've been in the past where I was like on hunts with companies and stuff where the companies paid for the bill. I didn't pay for the bill. And they're $5,000-$6,000. I don't have $5,000 just to go shoot the deer. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But a lot of the stuff in Africa, like an Impala, a lot of those $250. Warthog, $250, $300. A lot of the stuff that's more common and they have tons of, it's like $200 or $300. Kudu is not on the cheap list. If you want to shoot a kudu in Texas, the cheapest I found is $10,000 or $12,000 in Texas for a kudu. If you get a kudu in Africa, the cheapest I've seen them is like $3,000. So even in Africa, a kudu is pretty expensive to shoot. And then there's like sables. A sable is a beautiful animal. They're black. They're the ones that have the horns that curve like all the way back and almost touch their back. Beautiful. But sables are a little on the expensive side too. But yeah. Are you from Beech Grove? No, but I know where Beech Grove is. I was 20 miles from Beech Grove today when I was at Tolliver's because they're in Manchester. First focal plane or second focal plane for hunting? Whatever you like. So pretty much all the stuff I get these days is first focal plane. But I don't really have a particular preference one over the other. Whichever one's cheaper at the time is the one that I'm buying. In all seriousness. Tom to do pager stuff says sign up for WHOTEEWHO.com like 4 times and never got any emails. It's worse to pass a reject gun to some poor soul. Yeah, that's a different. I'm talking about like if it doesn't group well and I'm gonna sell it. Like, what do you want me to do? Just keep it? But if it's broken, like I'm not going to sell like a broken piece of junk to somebody. That's a little bit different of a story. But the last email that went out from the WHOTEEWHO newsletter came out like Friday of last week. Check your junk box. If you have Google, a lot of people's went to their promotions tab or their social tab. So if you don't see it in your email, just search the word WHOTEEWHO, and hopefully your email didn't block it out or something. I don't know. James says, I pray your hand gets better soon, and I've been subscribed over a month now, learned a lot, and have become a better shop for sure. Thanks a lot. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Buck Slayer says, what press is behind you? This is the Frankfurt Arsenal M press, M like monkey. I've done a couple videos working with it. Patriot Paul says, Arkans are so much nicer than other super popular brands. Yeah. Nick, South Africa is where I'm going. AJ says, just got signed up. Do you still like Crimson Trace optics? Yeah, Crimson Trace is good. I've got, like I said a second ago, I've got a Crimson Trace on my slug gun. I've got a Crimson Trace on my 338 Lapua Magnum right now. I've got some on some rimfire. I just took a Crimson Trace off of my long range 6mm Creedmoor and put it on something else. I can't remember what I put it on though. But yeah, for the money, I really don't think you can beat Arkin. So I know a lot of people at a bunch of scope companies. The markup is incredible on scope optics. When I say markup, I mean like if it costs them $5 to make it, they charge $100 for it. And Arkin is just selling them without ripping people off as much, if you catch my drift. I don't know. That's just what they choose to do. If you have a product, you can choose to try to market it as a premium product and sell it for a lot of money, and people feel like they're getting a crazy good product because they're spending a bunch of money. Or you can have that same product and try to be the low cost guy and make your money by selling volume. That's business 101 type stuff. And Arkin has chose the cheaper route. Have you tried the SpyPoint LM2 cellular trail camera? I don't know if I've tried that one. I have some videos on some SpyPoint cameras. SpyPoint, they sent me 6 trail cameras. That box right there and the box beneath it, that's 6 trail cameras from SpyPoint. Showed up at my house. And I don't know the people. Long story short, I used to know the marketing guy there, and he sent me a camera like 2 years ago. So I guess I'm still on their email list somehow. And they sent me a bunch of their new trail cameras. I didn't pay for them. They just showed up at my house. But I don't know the people at the company anymore. And I messaged them on Instagram. I was like, hey guys, you sent me a bunch of free cameras. What's the deal? And whoever runs their Instagram, which it seems like is somebody overseas, which doesn't speak very good English, told me to email marketing@spypoint.com. It's been over a week and SpyPoint won't answer my emails. So hopefully sometime soon I'll use those cameras and I'll show you all about them. It might be one of those ones, LM2. I don't know. I forget what's in the box. Dale says, we have a customer that owns a whitetail deer farm, and they have zebras in the pen with the deer to protect them against coyotes. I believe that. A lot of people around me in Tennessee have donkeys, and donkeys do the same thing. I've actually seen donkeys crossed with a zebra, half donkey, half zebra. If you go to the Ark Museum, which I believe is in Kentucky, it's north of me somewhere. So they literally built the Ark from the Bible to spec. That place has animals, and they have a half zebra, half donkey. They have both of them. Where one was like male donkey, female zebra, and then they have one that was a female male flipped the other way. It's like a donkey with stripes. It's pretty cool, actually. Anyways, yeah, spy point cameras. I got 6 of them sitting right here in a box. RNS says, "Hey, what up? Mike Yacht's challenging me to target practice." I know. I was smoky though. BCM AR is still hard to get new. I had never heard of a BCM AR. I couldn't tell you. I was about to say Bear Creek, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. Vortex razors are overpriced. And would I buy EOTech or Trijicon? To me, EOTechs and Trijicon are for rich people, and I can't afford that type of stuff. Scott says, Warthog would be interesting. I hog hunt in South Georgia a lot. That's cool. I would like to go hog hunting, and that's another thing that has turned into hunting for rich people. So on TV and stuff, they make it out to be like, oh, let's go hog hunting. It's free, and we'll go out at night and shoot 50 hogs, and it's a blast. No. All these places, I've talked about it before in other lives. These places, they bring in hogs and let them go because they make so much money telling people, oh yeah, come and help us eradicate the hogs. No, they pay hog trappers to trap hogs and bring them and let them go. So people like you and me will come pay them thousands of dollars to hog hunt and help us eradicate the hogs. Now I'm sure there are places that have a hog problem. So don't yell at me and say that some hogs are tearing up your grandpappy's farm and it's a problem. I get it. There are areas that are a problem, but I would argue there's more places where they import them and let them go to charge us just to shoot hogs. There's one place I was at in Texas last year. It's $1,500 to shoot one hog. You got to pay them $1,500 to come shoot one hog. And those hogs were brought in and let go. I hunted another place in Texas. We're having dinner, awesome dinner, big old steak sitting around the campfire. And the guy running the place had a little bit too much to drink and started telling the truth instead of telling stories. And he told me the same thing. He said, yeah, we pay, I think he said, he paid the trapper something, not much money to come and drop them off. And then they would charge people like 5 times what he paid per hog for the trapper. And they made a killing off of telling people to come hunt the hogs and help them eradicate them. Man, they let the hogs go on purpose. So there's 2 places I've hunted in Texas that's that way. Not saying they're all that way. I'm sure there are problem hogs, but there are people making an absolute killing in the hog hunting business. I need to get a piece of that. Yeah, mounts are expensive. Not $5,000, but a lot of African mounts. It's like, it depends where you go. Just like a whitetail, I've got a guy that does whitetail for $600, and I've got another guy that does whitetail for $1,200. That's within an hour's drive. So, yeah. Eagle Run. Message me if you didn't catch it, but if you're signed up for the newsletter on WHOTEEWHO.com, somebody's going to get free ammo for a year. We are partnering with Pyramid at pyramidair.com to do a giveaway on boolots to celebrate the fact that they now have boolots for rimfires and centerfires. Yeah, there's YouTube videos of donkeys stomping the ever-living out of coyotes. That's something else to talk about. Do you call them coyotes or coyotes? A lot of places, especially out west and up north, they call them coyotes. But I grew up in Tennessee, and I've pretty much always lived in Tennessee, so I call them coyotes. It's more fun to say them that way, too. Best 308 to suppress. Man, that's a really big question. First, you got to have one that shoots good. That's what's most important. Now, I'm not an expert on suppressors. I love suppressors, but I don't claim to be like a scientifical expert on them. So my answer to that would be the best one that shoots good. Because if you have a bolt action A and bolt action B and the same barrel length, you put the same suppressor on them, it's probably going to sound the same, right? I don't know. What's more important is that it shoots good. Arkansas bad boy, what up from Tennessee? Baba says get an AR and 308 to suppress. It's not as quiet when it's an AR. That's the problem. Yeah, Africa is great. According to guys I know who went, the mounts are pricey. Yeah, that's the problem. It's getting them mounted. Which I don't plan on going anytime soon again, so it's kind of like, man. Did any leads come to the video you made about the robbery? I mean, there's no leads to be had. They caught the dudes the very next day, and they put them all in the pokey. But the cops won't give us the guns back. Hopefully, in a month we'll get them or something. Boomstick says, hey, from Kentucky. Howdy. Is it Winged Rider? Been watching and subscribed for a while. Can't say how many videos I watched, but it's a lot from the looks of how many you posted. It got a long way to go. Hey, last I checked, we had like 2,300 videos. I only know of one dude who's got more, and that's Hickok45, but he's been doing it like 10 years more than me, so he don't count. No, he counts. He's beaten me. But hopefully someday I'll pass him. Patriot Paul says Arkin was started by a vet from the Sand Wars to get a good scope for a fair price. Well, there you go. Even more reason to go after him. Cape Buffalo. So, you guys know Ron Spomer. If you watch our show, you probably know who Ron Spomer is. He invited me a while back to come with him. He said, man, come on. Let's go to Africa and get us some Cape Buffalo. And I was like, yeah, but how much is this going to cost? Hey, if you want to get a Cape Buffalo, you're talking about in the $10,000+ range. Cape Buffalo is one of the most expensive things to go get in Africa. Next to like a lion or an elephant or a rhino, Cape Buffalo is like one of the most expensive. So I had to tell Ron Spomer, I said, man, I'm poor. I can't afford that. But thanks for the invite. Ron Spomer's a good guy. I could have been hunting Cape Buffalo with Ron Spomer, but I'm too poor. That's my story. We need to go hunt something cheap, old Ron. Quebec French people for Spy Point. I don't know. Zonky, that might be it. WHOTEEWHO, would you get the Sako S20? From what I've seen, it is cheap. Yes. Sako S20 is great. It's great. And I have seen them pop up cheap recently. If you find one cheap, get it. When I got mine, they were like double what you're talking about. And that's one of the best shooting 7 mags I've ever had. It is the best shooting 7 mag I ever had. If you go watch my videos on the S20, I think I found a Remington load. When Remington first came out with their core lock tip, that's what I put in my Sako S27 mag. And they're like same hole at 100 yards. And then I got a video where we took it out to 1,000 yards. If you could find a Sako S20 for $1,000, yep, I'd say jump on it. The Ark is in Dry Ridge, Kentucky. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Man, I'm getting down in the chat again. I hate skipping stuff, but David says our hogs are a bonus. We hunt them as a bonus throughout the year. Yeah, Extreme says $1,500 a hog. That's some expensive bacon. No kidding. Patriot Paul says, yep, it's ridiculous how hog hunting has got to be a moneymaker. Yeah. It's not a let's go get a bunch of hogs for free anymore. Dave says, what's the cost of prairie dog hunt? I went on a prairie dog hunt. It was one of those things where a company paid for me to go. It was free to me, but it was like $500-$600. And we got a lot of prairie dogs. That was a lot of fun. Burnt says, my friends with deer leases shoot wild hogs for free. So that's kind of not true because you said it's a deer lease. So technically, they're paying to shoot the hogs. They weren't free; they paid to hunt there. So still not free. What else you guys talking about? Coyotes here in, yeah, you up north. It's coyote. Yeah. Well, about an hour east of me, we've had some hogs pop up. A friend of mine who lives about an hour east has been getting some hogs, even in the daytime, on trail camera. Yeah, a guy in Oklahoma was caught releasing previously trapped hogs. Yeah, it's illegal a lot of places, but in Texas it's not illegal. In other states it's not illegal. Tennessee, it's 1,000% illegal. And I talked to this old timer, and he said that's what they would do. They would catch them, then they'd bring them over here to Tennessee, and they'd let them go so they could have fun and catch them again with their hog catching dogs. And they got to where they let a whole bunch go in Tennessee, and that's what they used to do. It used to be a big thing to run your dogs. You could run dogs over property lines and nobody cared. That's like understood. People would hog hunt and people would coon hunt with dogs. Your dogs go under the fence or jump the fence, you just keep chasing them. And it was a thing back in the day. Like everybody would know, oh, all those dogs and people on my property down there, they're just coon hunting. It's all right. Ain't no big deal. People don't do that anymore because now people have turned crazy and people don't trust anybody anymore. And you can't just run your dogs like that anymore. But it used to be a big thing where I live here. They do coon hunting competitions all the time, but now you can't trespass for people like that anymore. What else you guys talking about? Cape Buffalo with a paintball gun. Yeah, that's dangerous. Hi, hooty hoo. I love watching the channel. I live in Oz. We hunt public land. Plenty of fallow deer. What's Oz? Is that New Zealand? Fallow deer, pigs, and foxes. I would like to go there sometime. Baba speaks redneck. Some people would say I speak redneck. Dax says, have you ever thought about doing a best chronograph video? No, because it costs a lot of money. And I'm broke. I'm working on getting another one, though. A hunt with Ron Spomer would be hard to turn down. Yeah, he called me the other day, and he was just in Africa. He called me the other day. We were sitting there at the Hardee's or Wendy's or Arby's somewhere. I look at the phone. That's Ron Spomer calling. And he was about to go to Africa again, even since the last time he called me and told me he was going. But yeah. But when it costs $10,000, it's a little easier to turn it down. That would take me a couple of years to pay the thing off. What else you guys talking about? I would like a baboon. Yeah, baboons are pretty much free over there. They want you to smoke them. Kevin got a Black Widow with propane. Hey, I'd say that was a good thing. What else you guys talking about? 17 WSM. I never seen one. I've never even seen the ammo. AJ says, we got deer average weight out here dressed as 180, 190. Condon, Missouri. Hey, call me. Let's go. The biggest buck I've ever taken in Tennessee was 150 pounds dressed. And that was a big deer. I talked about at the beginning of the video, the 13-pointer I got in public land. It weighed right at 150. I've got mule deer that are real big. I'd say the last mule deer I got was over 200 pounds dressed. Had to be. But yeah, I'd love to hunt Missouri. I've never been. I've been to Missouri a bunch, but I've never hunted in Missouri. If I could hunt anywhere, where would it be? Anywhere where there's big bucks. I don't care what state it is. I kind of take that back. I've hunted in Montana twice, and it was awesome. I would say Montana because Montana is awesome. Texas is a close second because I've seen some really big whitetail in Texas. Texas and Montana, but yeah, anywhere where there's a big deer. 264 Win Mag testing. I don't have any plans too soon, but that's because it's expensive. Bradbo says, how are your plots? Mine are insane with deer right now. Bucks, does, fawns, day and night. Can't wait for October 1st. So I've got some corn. I planted a bunch of corn this year. Last night I caught a raccoon on the trail cameras pushing down my corn and eating. I haven't been up there yet, but presumably I don't think that raccoon would push the corn over unless there was a little corn cob on it. So it might. Seriously, there's people talking about it in the chat. If you want to hunt, let's go. I will go. I'm not kidding. Matt says, ever hunt Vermont? Nope. I don't think I ever been to Vermont. Steven says New Zealand. That would be really cool. Lots of big deer in Minnesota. I hunted Minnesota last year. I didn't see a lick of deer. That was in northern Minnesota. I hunted for a whole week from sunup to sundown and didn't see a single deer. So my assessment of Minnesota is it's like everywhere else in the country. If you have a bunch of private land and you can control who hunts, you can have big deer anywhere. The world record whitetail was shot 2 hours, 3 hours from my house in Tennessee. If there's nobody hunting the spots and you have private land, you can get big deer anywhere. It's all about access. It's hard to get access to anywhere to hunt anymore. It used to be you could walk up down this highway near my house, ask everybody on the road, and you might get 5 of them tell you, yeah. Now, no, it's the same thing. It's a money game. People have realized that they can make money off of deer hunting. There's a guy at church. Somebody told me, oh, he's a retired farmer. He's got a bunch of land down this way. So I asked him at church, I said, hey, here's what I do. I film hunts. Would there be any kind of a way that I could, maybe come out and check out your property and deer hunt it, work out a deal, whatever. And he said, man, that would be so cool. But somebody else already leases for my land for the hunting rights. So even here in the town where I live in Tennessee, the farmers are leasing their land for hunting because people are willing. There's people that have enough money that they can afford extra money to just pay farmers to not let anybody else hunt it. So hunting big deer is becoming a bigger and bigger problem where you got to have a pile of money to do it. Now there's plenty of places with public land. I've shot big bucks on public land, but that was when I didn't have, a bunch of kids and places to be, and I hunted 7 days a week. So there's one YouTuber in particular. He gets a bunch of deer every year, and I absolutely love watching his show, but he's not married and he don't have kids. You're not going to shoot deer on public land near me. The 2 places public land near me don't even have does on it. 2 years ago, I hunted the public near me 25 days. I didn't even see a deer except for one rear end of a deer for a split second. Brad Poe says, do you think all the YouTubers and Joe Rogan has had a negative effect? Too many hunters now. I'm not an expert on all that. I really don't know. But the public land near me doesn't even have deer on it. Yeah, Buckslayer, it's Catman. That's exactly right. You should subscribe to Catman if you're not already. Tell him I said hey. He actually lives near me. He lives like less than an hour from me. Poor Thing Productions. I appreciate you watching. Have I done anything on 28 Nosler? No, not yet. But it's kind of because of the same thing of the somebody said a minute ago, 264 Win Mag. They don't make cheap guns in 28 Nosler or 264 Win Mag. And that's kind of my thing is cheap guns. If I got to go buy a gun, it's probably going to be a cheap one. Yeah. Anyways, hey, I got to get to editing. I'm going to be up all night. I hope you signed up for the giveaway. It doesn't get any better than free. And we're never out to scam anybody, or it's just free, guys. Yeah, and appreciate you guys tuning into the show and watching and hanging out. But as always, comment down below what you want to see next time. I've got tons of video ideas written all over here, but you guys come up with great ideas all the time, and I appreciate that. Helps me think of things to do. But hey, appreciate y'all watching. I truly, truly appreciate you being subscribed and hanging around and watching the show. We'll see you guys. Assuming YouTube approves the stuff, I'm gonna keep on having videos every single day. If I skip a day or a night, it's only because I'm waiting on YouTube to approve something. But hopefully we'll have a video approved for tomorrow night and the following night and the night forever. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Hoo-doo.